couple of days ago, I posted a video that quoted the president describing something that sounded a lot to me like slavery, and I have pissed MAGA off. According to them, when the president said owner responsibility, he meant the owner of the farms, and it's insane for us to draw these conclusions. So let's go through it nice and slow. The reporter asked, Mr. President, you talked recently about the idea of finding some way to get farm workforce and service sector workforce, and I think you've discussed somehow a program of people leaving on a sponsorship and coming right back. Can you give us a little more detail about that and why, in the view of some hardliners, it's not amnesty? Okay, the president said, well, we're going to take care of our farm and hotel workers and various other people, and we're working on it right now. And Ron's going to be involved, and you're involved, referencing DHS Secretary Kristi Noem already. So we have a lot of cases where ICE will go onto a farm, and these are guys working there for 10, 15 years, no problem. The farmers know them. We're going to put, it's called farmer responsibility or owner responsibility, where they're going to be largely responsible for these people. And they know these people. They've worked on the farms for 15 years, and all of a sudden So I have a great, Ron does, Kristi does, we have a great feeling for the farmer and for the others in the same position. And we're going to give them responsibility for people. And we're going to have a system of signing them up so they don't have to go. They can be here legally. They can pay taxes and everything else. They're not getting citizenship, but they get other things. And the farmers need them to do the work. Without those people, you're not going to be able to run your farm. So MAGA's line of thinking so far has been, well, you're twisting his words. I would say that if you are insisting on describing to me a work visa or sponsorship program when that's not what he said, I'd say you're twisting his words. I might point out that the definition of responsibility is the state or fact of having a duty to deal with something or being in control of somebody. And then, can you see how maybe a farmer having the power to say something like, hey, you have to stay for 2 more hours or I'm going to call ICE, how maybe that might be an imbalance of power. I'd also point out that he said in the quote, we're going to have a system of signing them up so they don't have to go. That doesn't super sound like it was their choice. I also can't help but wonder if the MAGA voters realized in this quote that he said, we're working on it right now. So it doesn't sound like they're talking about a program that already exists. But this is what dog whistle politics is, and Donald Trump is a champion at it. He likes to say things that are racist and hateful with just enough plausible deniability so that his supporters will defend him. I had a few of them that said that I was taking this out of context and making a mountain out of a molehill. I would personally respond by saying I have plenty of context with which to be suspicious. I don't know, sending a bunch of people who haven't been declared guilty of a crime to a foreign gulag in El Salvador, building one here, removing Harriet Tubman from the National Park Service and then having to put her back, taking a bunch of books out of the libraries, leaving a bunch of migrants trapped in a hotel in Panama after deporting them, giving white South African farmers expedited citizenship because he can understand their plight, but fuck Haiti and Afghanistan, right? Arresting legal permanent residents at the immigration offices, deporting U.S. citizens, arresting U.S. citizens wrongfully, blaming DEI for a midair collision over the Potomac. They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats. I think the president's a racist piece of shit. I think it's obvious. I don't think we've changed our story. This is the same shit I've been saying about him since June of 2015. You just won't acknowledge the racism. He's racist. I don't know what else to say. He's racist. And when you continue to defend him over and over and over and over, despite mountains of evidence, then it's reasonable for us to conclude that you're racist too. When he was just saying shit that made him sound like a racist asshole, fine. You want to be strong on the border, you have legitimate concerns, and the Democrat Party is really fucking annoying. But you don't get to be racist without being called out on it. You are supporting racist policies. Why? Because we don't hear about the Ukrainian immigrants that are on TPS having to go back to Ukraine right now. Why? Because it's insane. But we're going to do it to Haitians and Afghans. What is the difference there? It feels like there came a point where MAGA's voters convinced themselves that it wasn't that he's racist. It's that the liberals are screaming that he's racist. But then over the last 6 months, he's genuinely doing incredibly racist things, and you're still defending him. And that breaks my heart. It really does. I'm a white person in America. I didn't think we were this motherfucking racist, but here we are. I stand by my interpretation, and I'm not confused about what owner responsibility means.